Sending the kids off to camp. So this can be a really fun time for parents, but it might be a little scary for the kids if they've never gone to camp, whether it's day camp or overnight camp. So Robina, you've got some tips for how you can sort of settle them in, ease them in. Marjorie, we asked you to stay because you were a camp counselor. For how many years?
From the time I was 14 through 19, just because we could sing all the time.
That's why I loved it too. Right? I was a camp counselor as well, and I loved it. But for some kids, it can be a little bit scary, especially if they're more shy.
You know, I think and I think it all starts with, you know, everybody's talking about camp, but when they're little, 4 years old, what is camp? Yeah. So they fear the unknown because they don't know what to expect. They know it's going to be fun. There's lots of kids there because you keep telling them. But that's not going to get rid of the fear. And I think the first thing is to acknowledge the fear, not turn around and say, oh, don't be silly, it's going to be fun. They want you to acknowledge of what they're afraid of. So I think that's right off the top, that's what you need to do.
You're also saying set up a camp at home so you can ease them into it. Have some fun at home.
You know, they do all these great little pop-up tents now, get them out in the backyard. I know we're not talking about just that kind of camp, but getting them into that atmosphere outside and you know, sort of talking to them as you go along about what camp is and for them what to expect. Take a trip to the camp that you're going to actually take them to if you can.
Right.
You know, if you can do a little trip over there prior, if it's closed, get them online, you know, Google it, bring it up and show the kids what to expect.
Now, did you do overnight camp, Marjorie, when you were a counselor?
I did, and I also did day camp. But the first time I went away to camp, I was 7. I begged to be there because my brother was 5 years older and he got to go every year, and finally I was old enough. I was fully prepared, a teddy bear, all these things, sealed envelopes from my mom for each week that I was there.
Yes.
2 days they had to come get me.
You hated it?
I hated it. I was so weirdly, I had anxiety, and I think that every kid is different. My brother was so like, smell you later. He was gone. So,
you brought back the smell you later.
Yeah, sorry.
I love it.
And for me, my kids went to day camp last year, and they were little. So Mikhail was 4, Nathaniel was 6.5, almost 7. And I had to send her with something every day that made her feel okay. She did want to go, but she was still little. It was half day.
You know, and it's funny because everybody has a different opinions, because I was speaking to some of the counselors and they were saying that sometimes the longer you leave them, the better, because just as they're getting used to it, you're taking them home.
That's true.
Whereas if they're all day for quite a few days, they're really just getting into connecting with other kids and getting the feel of what camp is about.
But as a parent, you're sitting at home freaking out because if they're complaining, you're thinking, okay, I got to take you out. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes it takes a long time to acclimatize to a new environment.
To settle into it.
And to meet new friends and to get fun with the new routine and the new structure. Okay, so you've checked out the camps, you've set up a little camp at home. See if it's possible to connect with another child going to that camp. That's a smart idea.
Absolutely. You know what, you may have a little chat in the neighborhood and see if somebody else is going to the same camp. Especially an older sibling, because 4-year-olds tend to really look up to 7-year-olds. If you can find somebody a little bit older, get them connected.
And don't show that you're nervous. Parents can't, you have to pretend you're okay with this.
Yes,
you're cool with this, right? So that's okay. A little bit of acting never hurt anybody. Thanks for all the tips today, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on